Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed being out of practice today. I also wanted to recognize and thank the fans. Man, that was a fantastic turnout this morning for Fan Day. It was great to see them all out there, and good for our players to see that. So hopefully we got everybody accommodated and got all the signatures we can get. It was good to see such a great turnout. So excited about it. Good, good second day. You guys could tell there's a lot of good out there and a lot of bad. We have a long way to go, but that's why we're out here practicing. I like their enthusiasm. I like their attitude. Like I told you a couple times this summer, I feel really good about certain positions, certain groups, and then others we have a lot to work on. But overall, pleased with where we're at, and we'll continue to grind away.
Mark, with the secondary, how does this compare to that year that Mike and Derek and all those guys were playing as freshmen, and maybe the talent in front of it wasn't as good as it is now?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. You know, we're much better in certain areas, and that's where you know, again, we're not interested in going backwards and taking a drop. We're inexperienced in certain positions. That's just the way it is. You know, hopefully our front and linebackers and things like that can help us. You know, you could tell by watching practice today, of course, there's no pads on, so it's hard to get a real good look, to get a clean pocket and all that, but our D-line is very, very big and physical and can create some pressure. That always helps the secondary.
Those JUCO guys, what are they bringing to the position there right now? Looks like
they weren't too involved. Brandon got a slight leg injury. He's able to practice, but we got to watch his reps a little bit. So we'll continue to bring him along.
Was Isaiah Epps out there today?
Isaiah got hurt yesterday in the first practice. He hurt his foot. We'll see to what extent. So he wasn't out there at all today.
Those two groups are a lot of competition. Do you like having those competitions, or would you would you assess having the receiver?
Yeah. Both of those positions you need to play a lot of guys. So you need to have the depth. They should be interchangeable. You know, if you watch this play, you know, even in the secondary with those guys with all that experience, we rotated three corners constantly. We looked at basically having three starters there. Like to have more. And this year we'll have to continue to rotate those guys and see where we're at. Same with receivers. We're starting to see some good depth. And Bryce had a really good day yesterday. It didn't seem like he had quite as good a day today, but he stood out to me a little bit yesterday when Isaiah went down. So we'll continue to push him.
Mark, at punt return, do you have a Bouvier or a Walker, a guy that you can just trust to catch it when Lynn needs a rest?
You know, Lynn, that'll be the big thing, just with him resting. He's much more confident. You can tell he's much more comfortable back there catching it, but he is going to get wore out. So we got to work on that a little bit. Yeah, there's guys we need to take a look at and see if we can get a good number two punt returner there.
For Chris Oates, do you rotate him in at Mike and Will? Are both of those pretty interchangeable?
He'll be interchangeable. He will be. Yeah, we feel good about the four guys. We had developed some depth behind them, but we feel like we'll have four guys ready to go in there.
Is it almost a good problem having too many guys?
Yeah, because that won't be a problem. You know, as you know how physical it is, long year, a lot of plays, and so hot early in the year. We're going to need four guys that we can trust, because if you think about it, you know, one injury and then all of a sudden we're a little bit thin. So you know, that's what I'm worried about, is continuing to have 5 and 6 and inside. I feel like outside there's a lot of guys, as you could tell, but there's some real inexperience there as well, but some talented guys. Jared's starting to look a little bit more comfortable. I'm sorry. That's me. Does that sound like Kyle there?
I was just going to say, you were right about the tight ends. They certainly passed the look test.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. Keaton's got a little hammy, I guess, because he didn't look the same out there today, and that's what I was just talking to Vince halfway through the practice there, and was wondering. He says he's got a little hammy that was bothering him, but Justin had a good day today. Yeah.
You thank the fans, but I mean, and I know you've done this a couple years, but the signing autographs, do you ever look at the line and are just kind of like, this many people want
Yeah, because I feel bad, because I'm like, I know we got to get to practice here. You got to put some kind of a time limit on it, but certainly want to accommodate everybody, and you know, we greatly appreciate that support. It's fun to spend some time with them, and you know, if these guys weren't so busy, and I mean that seriously. Those players, we grind them up, and they work extremely hard. But we'd like to do that more and more, just to spend some time with them, because we got a great fan base.
What did you see from Sawyer? Looks like he's got the arm.
He does. He's yesterday. It's not uncommon. Yesterday, day one install, very, very, poised, and even only being here 2-3 days, they had a much better day than today. And that's not uncommon. As you put more and more in, they'll start swimming a little bit. So he's got a lot of ground to make up as far as the mental part of it. But he's definitely a really good player. And but I'm quite confident after 20 some more practices, he'll be ready to go.
You get to strap up the pads next week. Is there anything you do kind of first day of hitting, we're going to do this special drill or anything like that?
No, I don't really do that. We have physical enough practices. I mean, you've seen them and you've seen us play. We have our limitations, but having an attitude and playing physical is not one of them. We'll be ready. We'll be tough, and hopefully we'll be real good. But there's no question we'll be tough. So I don't need to sit there and ram heads into each other just to try to get some toughness out of them. Just the way we practice, it's going to come out.
Y'all have talked a lot about getting the running backs more involved, and you can see that out there today in the passing game. What any of those guys kind of, you think, as a reliable pass catcher?
Well, we've always known that AJ was a very reliable pass catcher, and he's good out of the backfield, and so we'll continue to work that and just evolve as an offense, just any way we can to create some space and create some plays.
What's the strongest group right now?
I don't know if I'm ready to say that. I really don't. I think there's plenty of work to go around for each and every group. So, I'm not discouraged. It's day 2, but we're rough around the edges at certain spots, and we got to continue to work. We'll get there.
Anyone else?